Welcome to episode 2 of the Podcast Basics series. This is all about how to record your podcast. Podcasting nowadays is a thing, especially in this time of lockdown and pandemic. People are stuck indoors with nowhere to be besides being online. Might as well listen to a podcast so one can learn, relate, or be entertained. This channel is dedicated to bringing value and lesson to an individual. May it be video podcasts with moral lessons, how-to videos, or anything under the sun that can add to someone's knowledge and make him say, "What the?" Just a reminder before anything else, there are a lot of ways on how to do or record a podcast. There is no right way or wrong way in recording a podcast. And to be honest, it just comes down to personal preference. We are just doing these videos to show you the ways that work for us, and I think these ways will work for you as well. Again, there is no wrong or right way to do this, and if you already have your own way of doing this that is not mentioned in this video, no pressure. That works for you, so keep up the good work. Napaka-typical na introng pang vlog. Di naman vlog to eh. Palitan mo, men! In today's video, we will be showing you 4 different microphones or options you can use in recording. We're gonna discuss the pros and the cons of each option. Just evaluate what works for you. But the first thing you need is a computer or a laptop. This is where you save, edit, and upload your audio files. In general, this is the heart and the brain of all your recordings. If you don't have the means to buy a computer or a laptop, or maybe your laptop is very old and slow to process, don't worry. You can still create, produce, and upload your podcast with just your phone. Yes, your normal phone with a cracked screen. You can do everything on your phone nowadays. Which leads me to our first microphone option. Recording with your smartphone. All smartphones nowadays have built-in microphones and recorders. This is a great option because you already have it. It's essentially free. You don't have to buy any other equipment. If you want to start your podcast ASAP, you can choose this option as it is easy, free, and surprisingly has a good audio quality if you use it right. In order to get the best quality possible, we recommend you find a quiet place with something padded like your closet full of clothes or under a thick blanket. That something soft or padded will act like a sound absorber, making the quality of your recording more quiet and controlled. In this way, we are kind of replicating the effect that we are in a recording studio with soundproof walls. Pero DIY. Once you are recording, I suggest you hold up your phone slightly above you and a little distant from your mouth so that you don't have those popping sounds that you might get if you hold the phone too close to your mouth. Once you're done recording, you can just tap the share button for quick uploading or transfer it in your laptop for a little editing. Sound check, sound check. This is the sound of an audio recorded on a phone. My phone is slightly above my face and distant from my mouth to avoid those popping sounds. When it's close to your mouth, you're gonna hear those popping sounds. The P and the B's, something like that. So this is a sample of an audio recorded on a phone. Surprisingly, it's actually nice. To be honest, this is my first time hearing an audio recorded through a phone. And it's not that bad. It's that simple. Recording and using your phone as your mic and your recorder as well. It is free, very easy to use, and you can start right away. But this option only applies to solo shows. You can't really get under the blanket with your special guest, diba? And it takes a lot of effort to get a good quality audio. Next option, we have the handy recorder like the Zoom H4 or the Zoom H5 or H6. This has a different set of techniques when it comes to recording and setting up. You can use the Zoom recorder anywhere, and it has an option of using the built-in mic or connecting an external mic, and it also uses a memory card that will give you options of recording bigger file sizes. I haven't tried this option yet, but I have experience trying to record in this with our other projects, and my colleagues are the ones operating the Zoom recorder. It produces good quality audio either with the built-in mic or with an external mic connected. If you notice, in weddings, the videographers are using Zoom H4 or H5 too with their same-day edit videos. Notice the main speakers, especially when the groom and bride are saying their vows. There is a zoom directed at the speaker and recording the audio coming out of the speakers. And they will use that recording for their SDE video. Well, going back to podcasting, you can use this if you have an interview style format. You can plug in multiple microphones for you and your special guest, and Zoom has a feature that separates each audio file for each microphone plugged in the unit. This means that if you are going to edit the audio, each plugged-in microphone has their own track and you can edit your own voice or the voice of your guest separately. These kind of recorders are directional, meaning they only record the audio of what is in the direction of the microphone. It is not super sensitive and it doesn't pick up much of that background noise or other voices in the room. This is a sample audio recorded through the Zoom H4 on its built-in microphone. Sound check. Built-in microphone. Sound check. Sound check. Sound check. It's directional. This is a sample audio recorded through the Zoom H4 with a dynamic mic plugged in. Sound check. Sound check. Sound check. Sound check. Hey, test mic. This option produces an amazing audio quality. You can record anywhere without having to worry much about the background noise, especially when you plug in the microphones. You can record multiple voices, and editing-wise, you can separately adjust or edit each voices. The downside to this is you will spend a little on gears and equipments. The Zoom unit itself costs about 17 to 20,000 pesos. The memory card costs about 2 to 3,000 pesos. Plus, the microphones and XLR cables, if you're gonna use that option, that is about 3 to 5,000 pesos. Yes, buying the Zoom H4 or H5 or H6 is an investment, but I'm sure with your creativity, you can make the most out of this option. You can even use it as a recorder for your music, instruments and stuff, something like that. Another downside to this option is having to remove the SD card and connecting it to your computer every time you edit. Well, that's just a minor downside though. If you have the means to afford this, I highly suggest this option as it will bring out your creative juices and it will give you an amazing audio quality in your podcast and editing will be more easy. Next option in recording your podcast is using a USB microphone. USB microphones are perfect for recording solo shows. Your audio files are recorded directly on your computer and ready for editing. Every USB microphone are user-friendly, and compared to the Zoom H4 recorder, USB mics are very affordable and readily available online. Bili ka sa Shopee or sa Lazada. Actually, sa mga mall meron na rin. A good quality USB microphone costs around 3,000 to 5,000 pesos. It produces better audio quality, especially when you're gonna use your USB mic on a Zoom meeting or interview. USB microphones record audio better than built-in phone mic or built-in laptop mics. We can also consider the external mics used for smartphones as USB microphones. Another advantage of these kinds of microphones is they are not totally dependent on computers. There are USB microphones intended for smartphones. This is another great option if you are just starting out or if you don't want to spend a lot in doing a podcast. So the pros of USB microphones is that they are very user-friendly, great for online or remote interviews, they are more affordable, you don't need a computer to use this option, as there are USB microphones for smartphones. The only downside to this is if you're gonna be doing a personal interview and you only have one microphone available, there will be a little struggle sharing the single microphone. Sorry guys, I don't have a USB microphone so I can't sample the audio recorded through a USB microphone. The last microphone or recording option is recording through an audio interface or an audio mixer with USB connection. This option is leaning towards professional recording, so using either of these two equipment requires knowledge and a little know-how. Let's take a look at the audio interface. There are a lot of audio interface available in the market today, but the most famous one is the FOCUSRITE SCARLETT 2i2 3rd generation audio interface. I won't dig deep on how to use this as I am just giving you options for recording your podcast. If you're gonna choose this option, there are a lot of YouTube videos on how to record on an audio interface. This costs around 8,000 to 12,000 pesos plus the mics you're gonna use, either condenser microphone or dynamic microphone.
Just a quick comparison between condenser microphone and dynamic microphone. Both produces great audio quality, both will cost you a little, both can be used on professional recording, either with voice or music. Condenser microphones are a little bit sensitive compared to dynamic mics, as they can pick up even the tiniest of noise. Since condenser microphones are sensitive, they are only used in controlled environments and are prone to producing distorted sounds, while dynamic microphones can withstand loud sound, therefore can be freely used on live recording situations. You can also use condenser microphones on live recording situations, but keep in mind its sensitivity. So just mix it well and use it with caution.
Anyway, let's go to the audio mixer with USB option. And by the way, this is what I use in my podcast.
What the?
And right now, this audio you are hearing is from a dynamic mic to an audio mixer to my computer. I am not really a professional sound engineer, but being a musician, I have a little know-how on this option. Thanks to online tutorials and YouTube videos. Using an audio mixer is great. You can plug in multiple microphones. You have the option of mixing the sound quality physically by tweaking the knobs on the mixer. It's kind of easy to use, especially with modern mixers. But the super downfall of this option, it is really expensive. An audio mixer with 12 channels costs about 30,000 pesos. This one I'm using, it only has, I think, 6 or 8 channels. And it costs about 28,000 pesos. Plus the mics and the wires and the laptop, the electricity. Ay. By the way, this mixer, this mic, and this laptop I'm using, these are not mine. I'm just fortunate enough that Red 7 TV is lending me these equipments.
Thank you guys. You are the best.
Anyway, using a professional audio mixer produces amazing audio quality, but it requires a little know-how and it requires investing a lot just for the equipment. Alright, now that we have different mic and recording options, evaluate what works for you. And whatever option you choose, I suggest you download and use DAW for editing your audio files. DAW or DAW, Digital Audio Workstation. These are softwares where you can edit your audio files. This is only an option, it is not required. But if you are aiming for an amazing audio quality, I recommend you download a Digital Audio Workstation. And there are a lot of free DAWs online. What I'm using right now is called Waveform Free from the company Traction. It is free to download, just search it on Google. Again, we are not going to dig deep with all of these because there are a lot of alternatives and easier options for your podcast to start. There is no right way to record a podcast, and it will all boil down to your personal preference. On our next video, I'll be sharing with you tips and tricks on editing your audio files. Alright, see you on the next episode.